Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world. I'm going to talk some boxing. I'm what you need. You're watching my channel. And if you like what you're seeing here, don't forget you can comment, subscribe, share, donate by Western Union or MoneyGram. We're going to be really short and brief. This is about the current events in boxing. We're just talking and commenting on different things that happened in boxing recently. And you guys can share your views, your thoughts, your comments as well on that. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is Javante Tank Davis sparring uh Celtic, not Celtic Aiden, I forgot what the kid's name is. The kid who beat Devin Alexander. Hey, what's up, man? Tommy Temper, what's going on? And the guy who he stopped Devin Alexander. I think he beat I think he fought Danny Garcia. Looking fresh. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, I've got this haircut a while ago. So we're going to talk a little bit of boxing. You guys, of course, fuel the questions, so you can ask any questions, talk anything you want to talk about. Smash the like button, and let's get into it. So yeah, Tank Davis, man. We showed just little clips on him, some of the action where he was putting it on. What is it? Cleaton. I forgot what his name is. Not Selkit. It's Cleat. Guys, help me with the name of the guy. All right. Anyway, man, welterweight. So we saw Tank sparring a welterweight and holding his own on a welterweight. I think that's the point behind it, showing that he's not that small, as everybody's saying. You know, he can get big up and weigh. He probably was weighing like 150 something. So just because it doesn't mean that he can't pack a punch, he can't. He's not strong, etc. And of course, he has the skills. I listened to some people commenting on the video. You know, several news outlets put out the video of several articles, and I see people criticizing him for throwing the left hand like he's a one-handed fighter or whatever. But I wasn't even concerned. Up to Tank Nation. What's up, bro? It's Dumb. Been a long time since I've been on your stream. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Well, it's been a long time since I put out a stream, so don't worry yourself. I'm gonna change venue as soon as I can get my data plan, so I can move around. But apparently, I can't get access to the data plan online. Let me see if I can get it offline. Maybe I can talk to the operator or something. Yeah. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So yeah, Tank, man. My thing with Tank is really simple. My thing is that he can control his weight. I think the thing with Tank tries to do is lose the weight close to fight time, so that he never really has to lose the weight. So his thing is to lose the weight in a short space of time, probably dehydrate, whatever, get exercise, get the weight off, and then he doesn't ever have to spend a lot of time making. Well, he does spend a lot of time making weight. You see him, with the bags on and stuff. My thing is, Tank should stay around his weight. If you're going to go down to super featherweight, just try to stay around super featherweight. That's not easy to do. You know, just shaving off that weight. You know, Tank is a big dude. You know, Adrian Broner is a big dude, but they big guys. Like Adrian Broner is probably a 165 pounder. You know what I'm saying? Tank probably naturally by nature is a 150 something pounder. Okay, so these are big dudes, and weight just because they short doesn't mean they ain't big. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it with Tank. I think he tries to make the weight the last minute, scrape off those extra pieces of pounds, try to conserve as much weight as possible so that he has the strength and weight in the fight. In the case of the Uricus Gamboa fight, you could see that he had to pace himself because he had lost so much weight. Again, a lot of people don't really realize that. You know, I was talking to, I think, on one of the groups. One person asked, why is it that fighters fight at a lower weight, than their actual walk around weight? Why don't they just fight at their walk around weight? Well, the thing about it is that a lot of people don't realize when you start to really exercise and really train, you actually lose weight. Okay. I'm 160. I walk around 160. Okay. But I'm really 175 pounds walk around. I'm really a 175 pounder, but I'm going to be fighting at 154. So what happens is, and I am training and I'm doing my thing. And the thing about it is, if you look at me, I'm much smaller than I look before because I'm vegan. So I stay closer to my fighting weight than most other people. And it don't take much for me to make my fighting weight. I just dehydrate for a minute. You know, I don't drink much water for a day or two. And I don't eat as much. And I keep on eating high energy foods, but I don't eat as much. So I use more like nuts and protein things like nuts and grains, and just eat a lot of nuts and grains and exercise like a mad motherfucker. And what happens is I lose the weight. Uh, Tommy Temper says AB won't make 140 again without stopping partying. Yeah, he's big. He's big. He's a big guy. Even though I saw him very, very slim a certain time. Seems like he was trying to get down to 135. You should go below 160 in my opinion. Yeah, I'm a 154 pounder. Southpaw 154 pounder. I shouldn't go below 160 in your opinion. Nah, because check it. Remember, this is not same day weighing, so I don't have to worry about that. So listen, I'll be a small 154 pounder. Most 154 pounders weigh high 160s, 170. I walk around 160. That's my walk around weight now. So when it's not gonna take much for me to make 154. In fact, I made 155. I think a couple of days ago I was 155. I'm not 6 feet. I'm 5 foot 10 and a half. So I'm 5 foot 10 and a half. I'm not 6 feet tall, and I have a a 73-inch reach. I'm tall. I'm rangy. But I don't have that. You see how those guys got serious muscle mass? Like if you look at the Charlos, if you look at the 154-pound Charlo, he got serious muscle mass. I don't got all that muscle mass. I don't have all that muscle mass. So, you know, yeah. So, um, I'm kind of rangy-ish. I'm kind of more thinner, rangier kind of guy. Yeah, yeah. I'm not bigger than you though. I'm 5 foot 10 and a half. With shoes on, I guess I'll be taller. But and a half and yeah, southpaw. You're normally 170 pounds. Yeah, I'm 175 normally, but I don't use meat anymore. That made a big difference, and I'm somewhat active when I'm not fighting or exercising. I'm somewhat active, so and I lose the weight real fast. I mean, ridiculously fast. Like in the morning, I could be weighing 160. If I'm really active in the afternoon, even drinking water, I'm 155, 156. So I lose the weight real quick. If I go on weigh right now, I probably, and I eat a lot. I eat a lot of food, but the food that I eat is not fattening. And it doesn't really. Yeah, I have lean muscle. I have lean muscle mass, really well defined though. Like I'm ripped, but I have lean muscle mass. Yeah. So with me, it's cool. I can make the weight. I'm gonna be strong. I don't feel bad at all. I have a lot of energy because I don't use a lot of sweet things. Everything I use is mostly natural. I don't use a lot of oils. So I bathe with, even the soap that I bathe with is a very rich cocoa butter based soap. So I'm able to retain water, even though I'm dehydrated right now. To retain water, I drink a lot of water in between meals. I don't eat a lot of meals anymore. My body's getting really fine tuned, so I have a lot of energy. So yeah, and at 45, that's not bad, right? That's not bad. I've seen a lot of people too in the groups. Like if you go on Facebook in those boxing groups, a lot of people training. Man, it's great to see. It really is. It's very inspiring. Tommy Temper says you got more mass than me. Not right. Well, I mean, I got lean muscle mass right now. Uh, it's just that my muscle tighten up and everything, and so I look more defined. But I mean, I don't need that extra fat on me because I think I'm 175 because of the fat that's put on the muscle. It's not so much the muscle itself. So, you need a certain amount of fat in your body, but I don't really use a lot of oils. I don't really use a lot of fatty foods. I mean, I eat really clean. I keep my body clean in that respect. I still have to watch how my habits and behaviors are, but I eat really clean. And then on top of that, so I'm always sharp. I sleep at the right time. I don't go to sleep like 1, 2, 3 in the morning. I go to sleep like 10, sometimes 9. sometimes 8 o'clock. Depends, I go to sleep pretty early, so I wake up really early and everything. So I'm like, you get that optimal kind of thing. Your body's really good in this COVID-19 environment, especially healthy. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. Let's talk some boxing, man. Well, so it's good, man. Tommy Temper. Tank Nation says I'm a 160 pounder, but when I work out, I can drop down to 147 if I wanted to. I'm like Errol Spence, height about 71-inch reach. Damn, you can say. So you're like a 5'9", 5'8". That's not bad, man. It's not bad. Yeah, you could be a welterweight if you wanted to. Strong welterweight at that. If you're working on your strength as well, you gotta work on your strength and conditioning. I do a lot of squats, a lot of ab work. I do a lot of when I can, I try to do pull-ups and stuff to again with the ab work in it. So that's how I build strength. I don't build strength. I build strength also by running. So man, it's kind of remarkable. At 45 years old, I can just get up and run. Like I don't even have to warm up anymore. But I have to be drinking water. So if I drink enough water, so I don't like I do need to eat food. So I eat 3 meals a day. Have to eat food. When I get up and I decide I'm going for a run, I could go for a run just like that. Like I don't have any pain in my joints or anything. I've been checking it out for the last couple of days just to see if my knees or my hip will give me trouble. And I know it sounds funny because 45 years old, I run at top speed. I could just get up and sprint for top speed, no pain. And I'm not even running in track shoes. Like I'm not even running proper shoes. I'm running in flip flops, and I can do that shit. It's crazy, like it's insane. Like that my health is so improved because of boxing and just the lifestyle you have to live. That my health has improved like ridiculously. But I don't get hit. Right? You're not getting hit with any punches. I don't really get hit. I did one or two set. I did like one sparring session with somebody, and we was like around the same level. We was like, like we never really did the thing, so it was kind of messing around. But like as to say, I got hit. I've never been hit, so it hasn't broken me down yet. So I have to experience that. Yeah, dude, and pavement slappers and clocking it. It's ridiculous. But I do a lot of gardening. I do a lot of so I go in the back. I garden after I clear up some areas in the back. I'm always active. I'm always doing something. These last couple of days I wasn't doing much of anything, but everything's just really good. Health wise, I'm doing really, really well. Health wise. Um, can't complain. This phone, unfortunately, parts of the phone, like half of the screen, is a little bit cloudy because the phone actually fell. Uh, you know, a brand new phone of that. But yeah, I mean, boxing is just the most wonderful thing in the world. I mean, it gives you such a tremendous body workout. Like you doing, and you don't even have to be like tense or anything. You just relax and you can play some music and just box to the music and stuff. It's really cool. Looks like you took some years off. Yeah, man, I took some years off. So I feel a lot better, man. I feel a lot better. It's a great sport in that respect. Like if you want to stay healthy. I saw Andrew Ward's actually putting out Andrew Ward's teaching people online, man. Andrew Ward started a boxing a boxing you guys might want to check that out tutorial. He's got boxing tutorials coming out, and you can pay for them, subscribe to it, and get in shape and get to know some more about boxing. And he's sharing gems with people as well. So, those of you interested, I could try and find the link on Facebook. That's where I am in Facebook groups. I've been debating with people about Floyd Mayweather being TBE. There's a there from Facebook. He started his channel. It is Boxing with Ziggy. He's a real cool dude. He is into boxing. I really like him. And we were debating actually Floyd Mayweather being the best ever. And I was trying to explain to him, it's one thing that when I say I don't come from like the greatest perspective with Floyd. I don't think he's the greatest because most public perception will never see him as the greatest, right? Nobody will ever perceive him that. But I was trying to explain to him if you're coming from a factual perspective, if you're coming from a factual boxing perspective, not from a fan perspective, if you come from a fan perspective, you're going to see much better people than Floyd, much greater people than Floyd. I never claimed that Floyd was the most skilled fighter ever. I never said that. I've seen fighters who are more skilled than Floyd, okay? I never said that he was, the most exciting fighter to watch. Never said that. Okay. I never said that he was the greatest fighter to ever put on a pair of gloves. I never said that. I said when it comes to boxing, the sweet science of hitting and not getting hit, I believe he's the best at that. And I maintain that. Okay. And no matter what people say, I can show them that his opposition was not his opposition wasn't chump change. I'm not saying it was the best opposition of all time either, but I'm just saying, get the smoke. What's up? What's up, my dude? Well, look at that, man. I get Tommy Temp. I get this smoke. That means you guys are coming out to COVID-19. You guys survived COVID-19. I pray you guys live long and prosper. Um, but yeah, so um, we were having this little debate, and I really like it because he comes from a perspective that is not, he has no particular agenda. He's just talking, so I can easily talk with him, and we talk about different topics and stuff. But on the Facebook group that we come from, um, there's different opinions and different people speaking about different boxes throughout history. We talked about, I don't know if anybody here knows about Jeff Finesse from New Zealand. We talked about Jeff Finette. We talked about Ike Ibeabuchi. I don't know if you guys know who Ike is. A great Nigerian boxer. And then we talked about the Uganda. And with a lot of boxing history and wealth and knowledge. I wouldn't just come out to clear blue sky and say Floyd is the best ever. He's with like his skills are unparalleled. I heard people say some dumbass shit about him, because they fans. Like, no, I'm not gonna exaggerate the truth. I'm not gonna turn it out of proportion. Thank you very much. Whoa, man, we got some people up in here. I didn't even realize that. Intangible boxing, man. What's up, my dude? We got some boxing fans up in here. This is good. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Wilder right now, he's assembling his camp, etc. I want to say this about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder needs to realize that in spite of the fact that I think Tyson Fury cheated with the gloves and all of that, we need to push that aside. If you're going to face an opponent, you can't be having excuses. Sergey Kovalev said that Andrew Ward hit him low. Deontay is talking about everything except that Tyson Fury was the better man that night, which he was. Okay. So regardless of whether Tyson Fury cheated with his gloves or not, I know this sounds hard, and some people say it's controversial. Hey man, you can't say regardless. I will say it. Regardless of whether he cheated with his gloves or not, okay? Whether he banned the rules or whether the commission allowed for those kinds of gloves, those puncher's gloves or whatever, it was banned, whatever, but this thing. All of that kaboobile means nothing if Tyson Fury didn't land on Deontay Wilder. All right? So Deontay Wilder has to improve his defense. That's the first thing. The second thing is he has to stop making excuses for why he lost. He just got to accept it as nil. It is what it is. That's what I liked about Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua made no damn excuse. He got up the day after and started training for Reese. What's his first name? Not Anthony. What the hell? I forget his name. Reese. That's all I call him. He started back. He didn't even cut his hair. Y'all saw that? He was training. The ninja was training. And I hope that Deontay Wilder's training. I hope he's not just vacationing now. I hope he's training and putting in the work. I hope he stays with his trainers and the people he came up with. And I hope that he can add to the camp to help make certain adjustments mentally and physically for Tyson Fury. Because honestly speaking, he's an uphill battle. Tyson Fury beat him the first fight, in my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I think Tyson Fury beat him the first fight, and then he comprehensively beat him in the second fight. And he did it using manipulation of range. The first fight, he fought Deontay Wilder on the outside, where he had the reach advantage. The second fight, he fought Deontay Wilder on the inside. So he showed I can beat you two ways, bro. So, no. I'm just saying. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. Get the Smoke says you're talking about Floyd being better than Sweet Pea again. What? Sweet Pea? I haven't missed a beat. Well, Pernell Whitaker was a special fighter, period. Okay. So when we talk about Pernell Whitaker, you got to put respect on that name. Let me just make it abundantly clear to people. All right. Pernell Whitaker was the most underrated all-time great of all time, in my opinion. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit, but my point is, I want to emphasize how good that guy was. So good, they had to rob him 3 times to make him get an L. All right. Let me just preface this with another all-time great, Roy Jones Jr. Remember these names, because these are very important names and influential names, and also names that deserve their place in all-time great history better than how they're being treated now. Okay, let me explain what I mean. Roy Jones Jr., you couldn't touch Roy. You couldn't touch Roy. Offensively, this mother was the baddest man I've ever seen. Okay, for those of you who have never seen Roy Jones Jr. or you weren't there in the time of Roy Jones Jr. fighting, you missed something. All right, it's called the untelegraphed jab. He had the untelegraphed left hook. He had the untelegraphed double left hook. He had the untelegraphed triple left hook. Okay, the man was, everybody, back in the day, the old time guys who I wasn't around, they would tell you and they'd be like in awe of Sugar Ray Robinson. Well, Roy gave you that awe factor, that wow factor that I cannot express to you. It was like you would be like, wow. You thought you saw everything, and then you're in a wow again. You're like in amazed at how this guy is physically doing these things. And contrary to popular opinion, Roy Jones Jr. knew boxing and still does to this day. He's quite a good trainer. And Roy decided to create his own niche. He started studying animals. He started studying the behavior of animals. He was trained in the fundamentals of boxing, and he understood it, and he understood all the different styles of boxing he had to face. That's how he was able to beat James Toney. But that's beside the point. Roy studied the actual animals and how they fought. He'd have cockfights and all that kind of stuff. And Roy Jones Jr. developed and crafted this unique. He was God gifted. He wasn't just talented. He was God gifted to be able to do this unique way of fighting. Now, all the way back in the 1920s and 1930s, I'm sorry to be going off on this rant for a minute, but you got to forgive me here. All back in the 1920s and 1930s, people used to throw the left hook. They lead off with the left hook. Sugar Ray Robinson used to lead off with the left hook, right? But the way how Roy would lead with the left hook has never been seen before in the sport of boxing before Roy. Roy could feint you as if he's about to throw a jab. And it'd swing the left hook like a bowler punch like Sugar Ray Robinson would, but he'd exaggerate it. And his whole body would be feinting a jab because he jabbed from his shoulder. I have to demonstrate it. You swear you're about to throw a jab, and all of a sudden you get caught with a left hook because you never saw the left hook coming. Because he scientifically figured out he had to loop it so you wouldn't see it in your peripheral vision. But he got to feint you as if he's about to throw a jab. It's so crazy. Even his jabs were weird. Because he could feint the jab and then throw a jab off the feint of the jab. Like, God damn it. I really wish I could. I wish people who never experienced this guy in live action or watched him, you're live with him watching a fight, you would exhilaration. The man brought something totally different to the sport of boxing that had never been seen before. When we talk Roy Jones, you got to see those two are modern guys, right? You got to put respect on that name. Okay, his reflexes kind of faded, and that style, the style that he had wasn't 100% perfected. And yeah, he did have a chin. He was chinny, but it was hard to touch him. All right, his movement was just difficult to read. Okay, so all right, so I just want to put that in perspective that these guys were in a category all their own. Roy Jones Jr., another guy who's just in a category. There will be no more Pernell Whitakers. There will be no more Roy Jones Jr.'s. There will be no more Aaron Pryors. I know Manny Pacquiao tried, but you ain't Aaron Pryor, okay? There will be no more Aaron Pryors, okay? These guys are special guys. God gifting. They did things that nobody ever taught in boxing. It was beyond skill, okay? So when I talk about these gentlemen, particularly, I always want to make sure, because my boy Get the Smoke said, you said Floyd is better than Pernell Whitaker. I just want to make it abundantly clear. There's no one to compare Pernell Whitaker to. There's no one to compare Roy Jones Jr. to. And there really is no one to compare Aaron Pryor to. These guys are special guys. They're in their own sphere of existence, right? You know, they're outside of, Floyd was a technical guy who learned a lot of things. He was God gifted in terms of his reflexes, in terms of his speed, in terms of his sharp mind. But like I said before, he's not the most skilled fighter I've ever seen. He's not the most God gifted fighter I've ever seen. No. Okay. Zab Judah was more God gifted than Floyd. Zab Judah had everything. Okay. Zab Judah had the power, he had the quickness, and he had the speed. Okay. And all three he was better at than Floyd with. And he had the technical backing. Okay. He was fundamentally sound. How did Floyd beat a guy who was superior to him in every single God-gifted way you could talk about, and talent? How did he do it? He developed his mind, and he had an extremely sharp mind. And he's reading you all the time. Very observant guy. And he was able to feint Zab, provoke a reaction so he could counter Zab. And even when he's countering Zab, he still get caught by Zab because Zab is that fast. Okay? So when I talk about the best ever with Floyd, I'm talking from factual basis. I'm not talking from an emotional place. I'm not talking from a place of how good he was in his prime and all of that. I'm not talking from that. I'm not even talking from his level of opposition being the best level of opposition ever in the history of boxing. None of that. Okay? I am talking strictly from a boxing perspective of how he handled fighters who were better than him in terms of abilities, how he was able to handle fighters who were taller than him, stronger than him, etc., more powerful than him, etc. How he used his mind to work through those things, how he handled situations when he was hurt, how he handled situations when he was off from boxing for a very long period of time, how he handled situations when he had to deal with losing a fight. In the Zab Judah fight, he was down 3 rounds. He had no rounds in the bank. Zab Judah was the one ahead. Okay? People talk about, Floyd never been in a fight where he came from behind. Now, he's been in several fights where he came from behind. Now, if you know his history, especially his pretty boy history, was the development of him, and then from there on in, having so many championship fights and so much championship level experience, he became the guru. And so he was the sensei and they were like the senseis, right? So the students, the pupils. And so with all that experience, he was able to, and keeping his body to a certain level. His body had decayed. If you go and you look at Floyd versus Gatti, and then you look at Floyd versus Pacquiao, you'd be like, man, if he had the abilities of what he had with Gatti, we wouldn't even be seeing Pacquiao right now, right? You just look at, he decayed severely over time. People didn't realize most of his fights, and I'm talking about Floyd again, most of his fights were out of his prime, okay? The peak prime of Floyd was Floyd versus downhill rather rapidly. He managed to pull out something with Sean Bay Mitchell. By the time he reached Zab Judah, he had decayed quite a lot. And by the time he had faced Manuel Marquez, he decayed even more. People never realize that until you actually look at the footage and be like, oh, snap. He used to do this. He's not doing that no more. He can't do that no more. People don't realize, he stayed dominant. He stayed on top. And so everybody didn't realize he couldn't do certain things anymore. There were certain moves and certain techniques and certain skills he could not do anymore. In fact, at the end of his career, he was limited to leaping left hooks, check hooks, pull counters, lead rights. That's about it. Floyd was a lot more than that. Okay? So I'm just saying this to let people know that, longevity is a totally different story. When you're talking about the best ever, one of the things is longevity. Okay, the best ever should have some punching power and should be able to knock out people. You can put that in there if you want. But when it comes to the sweet science of boxing, hit and not get hit, both of them, not just one. Like, you can't just talk defense because Pernell Whitaker is bar none probably the greatest defensive fighter of all time. But don't get it twisted. He also had, in fact, he is one of the top seven uh, highest scoring fighters in the sport of boxing. What I mean by that is he has this one of the seven highest landing of punches in the sport of all boxing. So don't get it twisted. People talk about he was a defensive wizard, but okay, yeah, that's kind of true. It's true. You make people miss a lot, but he could score as well. When necessary, he can knock you out. Okay. So just to get it out there, forget the smoke and all the brothers out there have been talking. Pernell Whitaker ain't no slouch, okay? I call him Floyd's daddy. I call him the original father of Floyd Mayweather. I think without Pernell Whitaker, we would not have Floyd Mayweather as he is today. Without Roy Jones Jr., we'd never have Floyd Mayweather that you see today. Floyd succeeded on behalf of Pernell Whitaker and Roy Jones Jr. Never got the credit he deserved. There's the reason why Roy Jones Jr. will never bad talk Floyd Mayweather. Roy Jones Jr. is so happy for Floyd because Floyd fulfilled what he wanted to do, and finally somebody actually accomplished what he wanted to do. Roy was going to be undefeated. Okay, they took it from him when he faced that Chicago kid. They took it from him. Okay, and Pernell they didn't even give Pernell a chance. The first time Pernell went up for a championship, they took it from him. Okay. They took it from him. All right. Floyd's the first because, again, thanks to Pernell, thanks to Roy, Floyd saw those pitfalls and he was able to nip it in the bud immediately. Okay. So he was able to do what they wanted, what they should have done. Or they should have done, they deserved to have gotten. Okay. Because Pernell deserved to be undefeated to this day. Okay, and Roy deserves to be undefeated to this day, but they did him in. Okay, I don't know what they did to the system to get him, but they did Roy. They took it from Roy. Roy didn't lose any fight. Roy never lost a fight. In his 50th fight, they took it from him, and with Pernell, they took it from him early. All right, so I'm happy that Floyd is undefeated and all of that because it's on behalf of those two guys. Okay, them guys, Pernell lived to see Floyd. And this is what makes me happy. Pernell lived to see his boy, because Floyd is his boy. He calls Floyd his son. He lived to see his son become what he prophesied he would become. Pernell said it. There ain't nobody going to touch you, boy. Nobody going to beat you. All right? And Pernell should know, because nobody could have beaten Pernell. Nobody. I don't care if y'all can even talk about Felix Trinidad. Felix Trinidad didn't face the Pernell Whitaker, the typical Pernell Whitaker style. Pernell went in there trying to stop him. Okay? That's what Pernell went in there. He just went straight down the center and he was like, fuck that. I'm going to just go toe to toe with you. Okay. That's why he got dropped. Okay. But the Pernell that faced Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Jose Luis Ramirez, Trinidad wasn't going to touch him with a 10-foot pole. Okay. Ain't nobody could beat Pernell Whitaker. Nobody. Okay. I don't care what nobody says. No one could beat him. All right, he had a very difficult style, and I don't care if you take Pernell and you put him in any part of history, ain't nobody beating Pernell Whitaker. That's how I feel about it. So when people say, not even Floyd, because how you got to hit Pernell, you got to hit him, you got to hit him to get him, right? So that's why I always say, if Floyd was to face Pernell Whitaker, that could be a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. All right. I heard he kind of did okay in sparring with Pernell. I don't believe that he got the better of Pernell. I don't believe that. But I know he did okay in sparring with Pernell. Okay. And Pernell was very impressed. And I'm going to say this. Whitaker's style is unique to Whitaker. Floyd's style is not necessarily unique to him, but the way how Floyd, what I mean by that is, no, he has his unique style, obviously. But what I mean is, the shoulder roll's been around forever. The high guard, different people use the high guard. The way how Floyd uses those guards, the way how Floyd uses the shoulder roll, etc., blah, 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 is unique to Floyd. Okay. So that's what's unique to. But those things been around, right? He'd been taught those things. Pernell has a unique style all his own. Roy Jones Jr. has a unique style all his own. These guys brought something different to the boxing game. And it'll take years before people truly appreciate what Pernell Whitaker did. Because I heard people saying Pernell running and he always going around in a circle, he's not throwing enough offense. That's bullshit. Okay? Against Oscar De La Hoya, you go watch the punch stats. Go to type in CompuBox, go to CompuBox Beta, type in Pernell Whitaker's name, and look at all the fights he had, and look at him versus Oscar De La Hoya, the punch stats. Pernell Whitaker had a higher connect percentage than Oscar, landed more jabs than Oscar, threw more jabs than Oscar, landed more landed more power punches than Oscar, more power punches than even his jabs, threw more power punches than Oscar. Okay? And if you go round by round, you see Pernell Whitaker dominating Oscar. Okay? Point being, even though you can't find the round by round footage, though, you won't find that, which is interesting. The point being, anyway, is he beat Oscar De La Hoya. I don't care what anybody says, he beat Oscar De La Hoya, and he was robbed. He even dropped Oscar De La Hoya with the left. Oscar ran into the left, okay, and he fell down. It was a flash knockdown, but nonetheless, he was knocked down by Pernell Whitaker, okay? He wasn't stronger than Oscar, but he still beat him, okay? My point being that some fighters will never get the shine that they deserve, and other fighters are going to get the shine because of how they presented themselves, how they were presented to the public, how their fights were presented to the public. Mike McCallum will never get the shine he's supposed to get. Aaron Pryor is now getting the shine, and even then, because remember, he didn't face a whole set of opposition like the Four Kings. He, up to this day, people will say, "Oh, well, Aaron only fought at 140." Well, that's not exactly true. The end of his career, he fought at 147. But people don't know that. He had one loss in his career. That was in his comeback. He lost to a guy who knocked him out. But then after that, he went on to fight, a couple of fights, not any high tier level or anything. And he finished off his career, okay? Now, the point anyway is this. Some guys, and this is where I like intangible boxing, some guys will never get the kind of respect and recognition that all-time greats get. And they're all-time greats in their own right. But because they're not popular, or because, people have forgotten about them, they have disappeared, and we've heard about, Sam Lanford and all these guys, great guys, and now we hear about them again. We don't have a lot of footage of them or anything, and I'm sure there's some boxers that probably surpass anything that any boxer has ever done, but they just buried in the history of time for whatever reason. And that's why it's good to dig up and just look through history and see. But when I talk about the best ever, I am not talking about the greatest. I am not talking about how you felt when a certain fight was happening. I'm trying to take out as much of the fan perception as possible and look at it from a more of a factual point of view. I try to look at the facts of the situations. Before this guy faced this guy, this is what he did. Right? So if, for example, I'm trying to think of an obscure guy. You guys may or may not know this guy. Ernesto Marcel, okay? I like to talk about El Nato a lot. He died this year, actually, just a couple weeks ago. I had a friend who also died just about a couple of days ago. It was over the last weekend, motorcycle accident. I guess more and more people will die that we know. But just to elaborate a little bit, Smoke, because I think that what you raised is an interesting point. And I said Floyd is a better all-round boxer than Pernell Whitaker, and that's to be expected because, of course, he faced Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker mentored him and all of that. So we expect him to be better. And I expect some of this crop of fighters here, Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson and the Charlos and everybody else, I expect one of them to come out and be better than Floyd Mayweather. Because the next generation, generally speaking, is better than the generation before it. All right? Generally speaking. You get rare exceptions. But my point anyway is this. That If you look at, for example, as I was saying, before Ernesto Marcel finished off his career on a high, beating Alexis Aguayo, he faced a Japanese, I believe it was, guy and lost the championship. He was robbed. He was robbed. He beat that guy. He beat him so stupid. The guy's face was all bloody and everything. Okay, he beat him like he borrowed something from him and never returned it. Right. Then he finally got a second shot at the world championship, and he beat a fighter, and he defended his championship. I think it was 2 times before he beat Alexis Aguayo. My point being, he had to go through his storms, and you know what's unfortunate, and this is why, sometimes, even to this day, where a lot of people hate Mayweather, I'll go back to him for a minute, but there's a point behind it. The hate they have for Mayweather is strange, but it's because they expect him to lose. Let me explain what I mean. When you're that good, somebody is going to make sure you lose. Even if it's by robbing you, they'll make sure you lose. A lot of people talk about how Marcos Maidana, Jose Luis Castillo, and Oscar De La Hoya beat Floyd Mayweather. You know why? In the history of boxing, if you go back, usually the black fighter lost those fights that were close. They give it to the guy just so they could lose. I'll never forget Freddie Norwood versus Juan Manuel Marquez. Marquez should have won that fight. That was his first championship fight. Freddie Norwood was the black guy. Marquez got dropped by Freddie Norwood, came back in the later rounds and dropped Freddie Norwood, and was about to knock his motherfucking ass out in the 12th round. They still gave the fight to Freddie Norwood. Okay? And Marcus came back in the later rounds. In the early rounds, Freddie Norwood was outboxing him, whatever. And I always thought, I was just wrong. Now, it was a close fight, so they didn't really rob Marquez, but I just thought it was wrong. I thought the wrong guy won that fight. And it wasn't because I was a Marquez fan. I was just watching it blankly at the screen. I'll never forget that. I was like, no, man. And I'm a black person. Marquez won that fight. Fast forward to today. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, the first fight. Now, a lot of you believe that, it should be a draw. Wilder should have won because he knocked down Fury and Fury was lights out, whatever. I'm going to say this. In terms of boxing, I truly believe, and I still don't change my opinion, that Tyson Fury outboxed Deontay Wilder for the majority of the rounds. I had him 9-3. Now, different people have their different opinions, and they'll skew it the way they want to skew it. And I am a Deontay Wilder fan. I am a Deontay Wilder fan. I will defend him concerning his negotiations with Anthony Joshua, even though he lost his WBC title. But I'm not such a fan, and I'm going to skew reality about him. And I'm not a fan of Floyd such that I will skew reality about him either. And I'm not a fan of Canelo Alvarez that I will skew reality of him. I'm not a fan, well, I'm definitely not a fan of Triple G. I'm just messing with you guys. Triple G, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I still don't like certain things about him, though. And the fact that people even say that Canelo lost the first fight to Triple G gets me mad. Because if you just understand boxing, man. If you understand, I don't get it. I don't get it. Up to this day, I don't get it. I guess me and Jeff Mayweather, we just see the same way, I guess. We didn't see it as close. And up to this day, nobody can convince me that it was a close fight. I thought Canelo got robbed. To this day, that's how I feel about it. And I've looked at the fight several times, and Canelo was just landing shit on. He was just landing punch after power punch on Triple G. I just didn't get it. Oh, he was fighting too sporadically. I'm like, that's Canelo. He fighting the Canelo fight. The guy that's not fighting his fight is Triple G. He's not landing shit. Okay, I never quite got it because he was on the back foot, boxing him and going around the ring over and over like a merry-go-round. I never got it. But hey, whatever, Then in the second fight, he walking Triple G's. How the hell you walking a bigger fighter down? He's not letting him walk him down. He was trying in the 10th, 11th, and 12th round to push Canelo back, and Canelo said, "Fuck you, I'm not going back. You you made me. You said this and that about me using clenbuterol and steroids, and man, fuck you. I'm gonna walk your ass down. I'm gonna make sure I knock your ass out." Well, then realized they couldn't knock him out in the 10th round. They said, "Okay, cool." But he was trying to knock him out. Okay, and everybody's like, Triple G, man, he aged and stuff. No, he got an ass beaten. He got an ass beaten from Jacobs. Then he got it twice from Canelo. You're gonna be worn down. Then he got another ass beaten from Darren Jacob. As you can tell, I laugh at Triple G. I don't like Triple G in a sense. I really don't. I think I'm a Triple G hater. I really do. Because I feel like this guy, I'll be honest with you guys, all right? This is the truth of the situation. I remember after, Mayweather had faced Pacquiao, everybody said, "Oh, it's a boring fight. It's a great fighter, Triple G." I used to be high on Triple G, don't get me wrong. 2000, I think, was 12 or whatever. I was high on Triple G. And then my dude, what's his name? Boxing Beats and Rhymes set me straight. He said, "Well, Triple G, who would he win this belt from?" And I was like, "I don't know." This WBA belt. Which Triple G wasn't the true champion. The true champion was Felix Stern. He was an interim champion that got upgraded like Keith Thurman to champion. The real champion was super champion. He wasn't a champion for a very long time. He was just an interim champion. People counted it. You see, I hate when people lie and they pilot a lie. Just that's the thing I hate about it. Why can't you be straight up and down? The guy's got skills, he's got talent, he's got ability. Why can't you rate him like that? Why'd you gotta and they tried to compare him to Mayweather. Like that was so like I was like really livid about that. And then on top of that, they saying how Canelo's ducking him, and Cotto's ducking him, and Sergio Martinez is ducking him. Everybody's ducking him, but the guys who calling him out, like Arislandi Lara, when Andrew Ward answered the call, when Carl Froch was like, "Okay, come up to 168, let me whoop your ass," all of a sudden this motherfucker back down. And I realized it was all bullshit. And Abel Sanchez be popping his mouth. And I didn't like that. It reminded me of what Pacquiao did to Mayweather, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I want to fight," and then you turn down the fight. What the fuck is that? You want to fight, but you're turning it down? You don't want to fight. You don't want to fight. And it pissed me off. And then the fans of Triple G was just like the Pacquiao fans who were just, like the Pacquiao guys. It pissed me off. And I think all of that makes me didn't want to give Triple G a fair shake. Now, to be honest with you, Triple G came from far, man. Like Sergey Kovalov, man. He came from far. This is a guy from East Europe. Ain't nobody give a fuck about Eastern European fighters at the time. He came out to be a sensation. He appealed to the Mexican audience. He was able to market himself a certain way. He got a certain amount of boxing skill because he's silver medalist from the Olympics. That don't really mean shit because we got gold medalists who got knocked the fuck out in the heavyweight division. But what I'm just saying is, Audley Harrison, if I'm not mistaken. But my point is, he was a good fighter. He was a good boxer. Off the pedigree of Costa Zoo kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It was good. It was good. Just overrated. People kept on overhyping this motherfucker till this guy was number one pound for pound on ESPN. Anyway, back to what I was saying, because I'm way off course. My point is, the guys who actually deserve the credit, them is the guys that they drag into the mud. Canelo deserves the credit. But everybody so hate Canelo because, he always have a close decision with a guy and the judges be in his favor, which one of them judges always fuck up the scorecard. I'm not gonna lie, they got a point there. But my point is, at the end of the day, Canelo's the realer deal than Triple G. Canelo's the guy who Abel Sanchez claims Triple G can beat anybody from 154 to 160. Well, Canelo did that shit. How y'all could be mad at Canelo when he went from 154 to 175 and showed Triple G up? He ain't got guts to move up to 168 and take a title. But everybody going in on Canelo for Rocky Fielding. Well, then Triple G do something. Triple G beats Canelo, they say, at 160, but he can't even beat a champion at 168. I mean, it wasn't a real champion, but my point being, he ain't even going up to 168 and fight for a title. How many times Canelo's done this? He did it with uh, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I mean, it was a catchweight at 164, and Chavez Jr. was dried up like the sands of time. He was a skeleton going into there. But the point is, he did it. Triple G ain't even done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I get pissed when people say Triple G. I get livid because it's like, this motherfucker ain't done shit. Yeah, he's rated higher than a guy who be doing hoop flips for you. Okay? Unified 154-pound champion. Went to 155, faced Araceli Lara. Everybody was ducking. Come on now. Everybody was ducking. Everybody and their mama was ducking Araceli Lara. He couldn't get no big fight. He went up and faced Araceli Lara. He went up and faced Austin Trout. He went up and faced Mayweather. At 22. Come on, man. And this is the thing that I don't like. Another thing, it pissed me off too. Danny Garcia. Everybody going in on Danny Garcia. He's not my favorite fighter in the world. But I don't like people lying. I don't like people lying. If you in boxing, tell the truth. Come from facts. That's the problem I have with this boxing. Some fans will manufacture shit. They will lie to put down a fighter. Yeah, we know Danny Garcia lost to Mauricio Herrera. Listen, that's the truth. I don't care if you were a fan or not. He literally got the decision on that. Mauricio Herrera was hitting him with jabs, like if it was like bust his nose, all kinds of shit. Okay? In Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? But come on, tell the truth. Okay, so I'm all over the place. Back to Pernell Whitaker. So I'm just saying that there are boxers will never get the credit they deserve. Andre Ward. It pisses me off talking about this. He'll never get the credit he deserves. This man is the best. Listen, he's not Joe Good. He wasn't Joe Good. He was really, really great at what he did. You know? He wasn't undefeated for no reason. He was undefeated for a reason. Mayweather's undefeated for a reason. It's not just like them guys didn't just wake up one morning and say, oh, I want to protect my O. Neither of them. The mentality of both of them was, let's go get it and beat these motherfuckers. Let me show them what I am. They both had that mentality from beginning to end. Now Mayweather's cashing in on his legacy. He's cashing in on it. You know, he's cashing in on it. You know, but it's these kinds of things that I just don't get. You know, because I know boxing like that. At least I know my boxing. You know, so that when I see guys who listen, all them past greats they were great. They were great. But these guys supersede what these guys are. I mean, their mentalities are totally different level to them guys from back then. And those guys from back then were good. But the mentality of Ward and Mayweather is another fucking level, ladies and gentlemen. Like they get meticulous about everything. That's the level that man was on. They wasn't on no joke level. You know? And man, I want to unpack it because it's like I have to unpack it so people can see what I see. Because I mean, the people in boxing, they know what Ward was. They know what Mayweather was. Okay, they would be bullshitting if they say anything different. And they have some hating ass guys out there who they just want to hate on Mayweather, but they know, right? They know for a fact that even in his off guard moment, Ray Boom Boom Mancini said, "Oh my God, you guys just don't understand how good Floyd is." I remember Boom Boom Mancini saying that, and he don't give a fuck about Floyd like that, but he knows. He knows how good that guy was. All right, not to toot his horn or anything, but he knows how good Ward is. Like this, y'all don't understand. Maybe y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Let me explain it to you. It does not matter what era Ward was in. He would be at the top of that era because of his mentality. It's his mentality that made it a whole. That's why we say boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. Just the way how Andre Ward carried about himself, he would not be denied his success. He would not be denied his success. He would not be denied. The only way you're going to deny Andre Ward and Mayweather their success in the ring is to kill them. You had to hit him with a punch, and they have to drop down dead. That's the mentality these guys had. And that's what they trained with. And they were very meticulous about little, as Barry Robinson would say, small things, all things. Small things, all things. Little itsy bitsy things you and I would overlook. And a lot of those greats in the past overlooked. They never overlooked. I was looking at a video of Andrew Ward talking to a bunch of young people. And just the way how Andrew Ward cares about himself tells you how meticulous this guy is. And talking about how important the first thing you are taught in boxing is how to move your feet. And then I looked at another video just to show you how similar Ward and Mayweather, you know what's a similar Ward and Mayweather are in mindset, and why Virgil Hunter came on record and said Floyd is one of the greatest you'll ever see. He called him greatest. He didn't call him the best of. He said one of the greatest fighters of all time that you have ever seen. That's what Virgil Hunter said. And Virgil Hunter has history. Okay, and I don't care what issue Floyd got with them and they got with him. When it comes down to speaking the truth, this is what he said. Okay, and he went all the way back to Sugar Ray Robinson with the cross arm stance, the extended guard, all the way before that to the 1920s, 1930s, to bare knuckle brawl. He went all the way back there to explain the history of what you're seeing in Floyd. How he's a modern day throwback fighter. And a lot of people don't appreciate how good he is. And he explained that his boy, which is Andre Ward, has the absolute same qualities, but a different take on how he approaches executing it. But the same mindset, but the execution is a little bit different to Floyd. And somebody asked, what would have happened if Andre Ward had to face Floyd Mayweather? And the weirdest thing about this whole thing that makes it also kind of crazy is, of course, Andre was a big Roy Jones Jr. fan, and whether Floyd admits it or not, he's a huge Roy Jr. fan. He's a huge Pacquiao fan. That y'all don't know that, but that's the truth. He's a big fan of Manny Pacquiao, huge fan of Manny Pacquiao. Don't let the chit chat fool you. He likes Manny Pacquiao, and he's a huge Roy Jones Jr. fan. Huge. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Andre Ward borrowed things from Floyd. Yeah, no doubt about it. But Andre Ward hasn't lost a fight since he was 12. Now, Floyd will tell you, he'll tell you, that the fights that he lost were close. And really, he beat Augie Sanchez. And really, he beat the other guys, right? And in the Olympics, he really beat the dude. And the referee thought he beat the dude. And somehow the judges had it another way. But the point is, regardless of that, Andre Ward ain't lost a fight since he was 12. Right? Gold medalist in the Olympics and all of that. Okay? What would those two look like? That's a throwback fight, ladies and gentlemen. An intriguing throwback fight in which if Andre Ward could get to the inside of Floyd and fight on the inside, he has a distinct advantage over Floyd there. If Floyd could keep Ward at mid-range and on the outside, he has a distinct advantage there. It reminds me of the fight between Miguel Cotto and Mayweather. It reminds me of a fight between Andre Ward and this kid. I know this is a weaker one, but Mikhail Kessler. Okay, Ward was able to get to the inside of Kessler, but if Kessler was on the outside, he had a much more better advantage to land his right hand than when Ward got on the inside and started working. And I just think that as much as Ward is an outboxer, he's actually, in my opinion, a better inside fighter because he gets to use his physical strength than he is an outboxer. Which is ironic because Ward started off as an outboxer. And he picked up the infighting skills later. And I've seen the same thing in Shakur Stevenson. He was an outboxer, and now he's starting to do his inside game. So, and he's southpaw. So it can get really interesting as he develops over time. My point being that, by the way, Floyd versus Mika Cotto was a throwback fight. And for those people who have never seen that fight, you should go watch it again and again and again and again. And I guarantee you're going to see Cotto surge from round 6 to round 11. I think he lost a round somewhere in between there. But he went like almost 5 straight rounds without just on Floyd. And Floyd managed to take the 12th. All right. And he was doing a series of different things that made it, he was clever. He was really clever in what he was doing. So anyway, let me get to you guys. There's so much I really want to talk about. Get this smoke. The president, he went insane / CTE. Oh, really? Suleiman? Let me tell you something. Suleiman been wrong on a series of occasions, and he need to really check himself and who he's backing. Tangible Boxing says Wilder needs to make a decision. If he wants Fury out of the sport, pull out and take him to court or fight him again and ask for some gloves, for the same gloves. Really, I mean, like I said before, this is boxing. I don't think Fury is going to get prosecuted for that, but I do think they need to be super duper watchful. Both camps actually need to be super duper watchful for what the next camp is doing. I mean, they need to really pay attention. Jay Diaz need to pay more attention to what's going on. All right, because it's credibility in what happened with Fury, but it's not the way how we thought it was. We thought it was, they moved the padding from the gloves, but it seems as though they got it custom made a certain way with the dealer who already was doing puncher's gloves, but they kind of bypass. Fury's a tricky guy. He's not like, he doesn't all out cheat except where he was using the nandrolone or whatever it was. He don't all out cheat. What he do is clever. It's clever. I gotta give him it. The one with the hand not fully in the glove, that was clever in the first fight. Didn't help him much, but it was clever anyway. And then in the second fight, he decided to wear puncher's gloves, which is illegal now in the United States, but was of a brand where the puncher's glove is different, and then they specialize. They got a specialized puncher's glove, the MX kind of version. And so it was clever. It was clever. I give him that. And he came out and he said, well, you don't be looking at me, Wilder. Hey, the commission allowed me to wear them gloves. It was clever. I'm going to give him that. Terrible, because if he was a black guy, we wouldn't see the end of it. And that's where race kind of comes into place. I was looking at Emmett Till. The death of Emmett Till just recently. And the weirdest person who directed me to that was Dave Chappelle. He was doing a comedy hour, and he referred to Emmett Till. For those of you who don't know, Emmett Till was a young 14-year-old Chicagoan boy that went down to the Deep South and was murdered. And he never was, the murderers acknowledged that they killed him in a horrific sort of way. And they never were brought to justice, but the whole wide world heard about the story. People up in arms about that. And that's what brought about the civil rights movement in big sort of way. Emmett Till. You should check it out. But what does that have to do with anything? So my point is, if Tyson Fury was a black person, we would not hear the end of this. He would be the darkest, evilest, most demonic son of a bitch ever. Because even Wilder right now, they're saying, oh, he's crying and everything because he's black. It just imagine if Deontay Wilder was white. Oh my God, the next Jack Dempsey. Come on now. You know how it go. You saw what they do with Triple G. You see what they doing with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury ain't no hard hitter. He's a Floyd Mayweather. Everybody's saying it. He's a Floyd Mayweather. Sloppy as fuck, but he's a Floyd Mayweather, right? 68 though. Come on now. You gotta appreciate it. See, that's what black people ain't racist. We acknowledge what it is. We be straight up. I like Tyson Fury, but let's not get it twisted. If you were black, we'll hear the end of it. Anthony Joshua, right? He said Black Lives Matter. All of a sudden, targeted people who are being racist. All of a sudden, he public enemy number one for saying the right thing. Get the fuck out of here. For saying the right thing? Oh, hell no. Hell no. So what? Humanity is not important anymore? That people are being mistreated? Even if they weren't black. You think he did a wrong thing by saying, hey man, we need to start targeting the right people. They targeting the wrong people. We need to target the right people who be propagating this shit. He wrong for saying that? Come on, man. Come on. He never said target white people. And if he did, he probably talking about racist white people. Well, he had a problem with that. There's a lot of racist people in this world. It's not just white. Trust me, I know. But my point being, why not target racist people? Let them know it's unacceptable. They got away with it all the time. Shit. So I understand, but Tyson Fury isn't making this about race, even though he did in a sort of way. In that he said, "Oh, the Gypsy people, you need to watch the Gypsy scene." Fuck out of here, Tyson Fury. You and Billy Joe Saunders to put your foot in your mouth sometimes. I just don't get it. And I know y'all just be trash talking to get at Anthony Joshua because you got to face him next. But that's a dumbass thing to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. That's like stupid, man. Kid of Smoke says lucky punch from the gods. Who had a lucky punch? Fury? Hell no. That ain't no lucky punch. That man has been boxing since he's been a child, man. The sweet science, baby, sweet P. Yeah, man. You talking about Pernell Whitaker, baby. You gotta put some respect on that name. That's Whitaker right there. I'm not saying Oscar didn't fight him pretty well, but Oscar didn't win that fight. Get the Smoke. I like that. If no Pernell, no Floyd. 100. Yeah, for sure. Get the Smoke says Ward was a beast. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. So let me get into the other subject, which is, I think, a very important one for all of us to bear in mind before I get out of here. It's about an hour, 7 minutes, 32 seconds. I've been talking for way too long. Sometimes I just want to shut up and just, like the last couple of weeks, I wanted to put up a whole bunch of videos, and I said, nah, man, just shut up. But I want to talk a little bit about this Wilder and Tyson Fury thing before I go to some of the heating up stuff with the different fights and different matchups that are possibly happening in boxing. So to put it down this way, I think Wilder needs to focus. I think Mike Tyson even said that. He need to sit down and focus on what he need to do. Now, obviously, he need to bear in mind that Tyson Fury will try and do something shady again. So he better pay attention, because Tyson Fury will always look for some kind of advantage for the next fight. But thankfully, he's getting a third fight. He should enforce it, and then he should be working on his stuff for that third fight, because he's gonna have an uphill battle. This guy has figured you out two ways. He realized, man, he ain't got no inside game, and I can outbox him on the outside. That is just not good. He can mix it up any which way he wants. So Wilder got his work cut out for him. I see people saying, "Oh, Wilder got an easy fix to land the right." Well, listen, man, that right hand is you need more than the right hand to beat Tyson Fury. I'm gonna tell you that. You can't be a one-handed fighter, and the left hook is not enough either. And you better polish up your jab. And unfortunately for you, you're gonna also have to sort of change your style somewhat so that Tyson Fury, because he's figured you out. He figured out your style. He's figured out, that he caught you off guard. He did special things to make sure that because Wilder can fight going backwards. He's fought many times going backwards. The thing about it was, how Tyson Fury pressured him. I caught him with the jab a certain way, made Wilder, and then Tyson Fury can fight on the inside, which Wilder can do a little bit of. Really put pressure on Wilder. From round one, Tyson Fury was on him. Okay, so Wilder needs to polish up on his defense. He needs to polish up on his jab. He needs to polish up on his all-round game, going backwards, going forwards, etc. And he needs somebody to specifically give him a proper game plan, because he's going to be facing a guy that's much more skilled than he is, a guy who has faced him twice and beat him two different ways. He really gonna have to go back to the drawing board to try and pull out something, or at least have a respectable competitive fight. Okay, because this is he had a counter on Tyson Fury sleeping on him as well. So like that's not gonna happen. So he's got an uphill battle to face. Tyson Fury is liked and hated in different circles. People are trying to diminish Tyson Fury's accomplishments. Nope. He beat Deontay Wilder twice and unofficially, once officially, and Deontay Wilder, hell of a puncher. Not so great a boxer, but a pretty good boxer though. Okay boxer. And so it's really on Tyson Fury to lose this fight. All right, but I'm looking forward to the rematch. Of course, I picked Tyson Fury to win. Unfortunately, I love Deontay Wilder, but I think Tyson Fury's gonna beat him. The way in which Tyson Fury beats him is the thing that I want to see. Is Deontay Wilder going to make this fight somehow, some way, kind of competitive? If he can make it even sort of competitive, that's all that matters. If it's not competitive at all, and Tyson Fury just gets him out of there pretty quickly because he kind of figured out what Wilder is, then Wilder got to go back to the drawing board and just build himself back up. Because let me just say, even if he loses to Tyson Fury a third time, I still think that Deontay Wilder is one of the best heavyweights out there. I think that he just needs to scrap himself all over, say, well, Tyson Fury, I had to do some more work. Go back to the drawing board. He better man this night and just move on. And so I think Wilder is doing a good thing to face Tyson Fury, but the risky factor here is he could get badly hurt. So what I would suggest to him is that he be working on his boxing and just keep working on your boxing and keep on improving your boxing game, so that when you get to Tyson Fury, at least your defense is somewhat good enough to deal with anything that Tyson Fury brings you. So you come out of it like Mikey Garcia, maybe hurt pride, but that's about it. You performed well enough that you made it through the storm. I never know. He might just catch him with a punch. He got punch chance. Punches chance don't really work with Tyson Fury, even though he did drop Tyson Fury hard in the 12th. So who knows? So that's Wilder versus Fury. Let's talk about any other current things you guys want to talk about here in boxing before I go on to something else. Then I replied to some of your comments. I think that I have some other match. Oh yeah, let's talk about exciting things now. The matchups in boxing. So Errol Spence came out. Errol Spence came out, ladies and gentlemen. Errol Spence came out, and the boy is looking good. The boy is looking good. The boy's getting into shape. The man is looking good. I am impressed, and he ready to take on Danny Swift Garcia if needs be. Danny Swift Garcia hits like a tank. And so it'll be a hell of a fight. If Danny catches Errol, it's going to be a little bit of a problem, I think, for Errol. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I know Danny Garcia is also training, so that's an exciting thing. And one of the more exciting prospects out there, of course, is Virgil Ortiz. Been doing it for a long time. Teofimo Lopez, of course, we've seen him, and he's trained to get himself in order. I haven't really seen much of what's my girl? This is another interesting one. Katie Taylor, she might be rematching what's her name? Oh shit. I think it's for the super lightweight championship of the world. I think it is. It was lightweight. I can't remember. But she's not gonna be necessarily facing Amanda Serrano anymore, which is weird. I heard there was some fallout with Amanda Serrano and Eddie Hearn or something. But all of a sudden, Katie Taylor, Pursoon, yeah, Katie Taylor, man, she might be taking on no longer Amanda Serrano. I guess I don't know what happened, but that sounds like a duck to me. But it's probably not a duck. But Amanda Serrano, man, I would have loved to see Katie Taylor take on Amanda Serrano. Isn't it Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano? That's right. So apparently that's off, and I'm hearing Katie Taylor rematching Pursoon. She preferred to take her chances with Pursoon, maybe. Oh, I don't know what happened, but Katie Taylor versus Pursoon, that's what's happening next. To me, that's kind of strange. You know, maybe it's because Amanda Serrano couldn't get the money that she was supposed to get for the fight, courtesy of COVID-19 or something. I don't know what really went down. That was an exciting fight I wanted to see, but it is what it is. What's your guys bet on Katie Taylor versus Pursoon? I would like to see that rematch. That was supposed to be brewing. I thought Pursoon won the first one. Maybe Pursoon can get the opportunity this time to beat Katie Taylor. Also, another rematch that I would like to see, and I still probably would want to see is it is 168 division. Callum Smith versus that kid that faced him last time, and I thought beat him. So I want to see how that turns out as well. He probably should rematch that dude. That's what Callum Smith should be doing. I think like different people have different opinions on rematches. One guy was telling me, a fighter should rematch another fighter, even if he blew that fighter out or he knocked him out. He should still have a rematch. And I'm like, why? Because the fighter can make adjustments, come back, and probably even beat the other fighter. And I'm like, but when you're talking about boxers, dude, when you're talking about boxers who just beat the brakes off you, like Tyson Fury, for example, beating the brakes off of Deontay Wilder. I mean, it's very hard. I'm just saying, it's very hard for Deontay Wilder to come back as not being a good boxer like Tyson Fury. I mean, he got to know something on Tyson Fury, some kind of thing, and beat Tyson Fury because it takes skill to do what Tyson Fury did. I mean, but again, different people have different opinions, so I guess we get in the third fight. You never know. And then you have, like I said, Virgil Ortiz. It's a good fight. Of course, Mike Tyson's big in the news. Mike Tyson be doing a lot of things, promoting himself in a big way. That's Mike Tyson that I'm talking about. But this is Mike Tyson's a lot more controlled. What I mean by that is, he's in control of how he's portraying himself, how he is marketing himself. So you never know. Mike Tyson might come back. You never know. We'll see. First, we have to see the exhibition fight. Then we'll know for sure what's happening with Mike Tyson. Some very exciting things in boxing, man. Of course, Lomachenko will be facing Teofimo Lopez September coming. Hopefully, all things being equal. Looking forward to that. I saw a couple fights with fighters who you probably would never have gotten shine and be on television. They're now being showcased, so that's good. Top Rank pushing it forward. We're hearing that sometime in August. PBC's coming back. So that's good. Let's say September. September, I think it is. September. So that's another set of good news right there. And then, of course, what's her name? Shoot, I forgot her name. In women's boxing, there was two fights I think that were very interesting. It'll come to me. Um, and then I saw, man, I can't remember these names all of a sudden. But yeah, um, uh, she's supposed to face. They were talking about her facing Layla Ali. What's her name? She's like the TV women's boxing. What's her name? I can't believe Clarissa Shields. That's the name I'm looking for. Clarissa Shields, man. Clarissa Shields. I haven't heard much about her in public these days, but been looking at her channel and what she be talking about. It's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Um, so Errol Spence is coming back out, and he may face Danny Garcia. He's talking about putting all the other guys on notice, talking to Al Heyman about making the fights. He ready. So I'm happy about that. I see he's still trying to make weight, but he still excuse me, man. He still looks good, man. He looks good. Errol Spence looks good, man. Errol, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. People talking about Errol versus Bud, and that um, a lot of people believe that Bud will beat Errol. But they want to see what Errol what Errol will do. But I'm not ruling out Aaron like the other people. Absolutely not. This guy proved himself. you know, a number of times. So I'm not gonna count him out at all. Anyway, my battery's going, so I'm gonna have to catch you guys later. And what you need, if you guys enjoyed this little video presentation, etc., stream, then smash the like button, share, comment, subscribe if you want to, donate via Western Union or MoneyGram. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.